or the internment for that matter, going the indie route has been and continues to be the only way to tell those stories, despite the astonishing achievements of the mostly Japanese American soldiers of the 100th Infantry Battalion Separate and the 442nd Regimental Combat Team. Johnson further writes, and I quote, "This movie, Go for Broke, was really more about, there has been only one movie from a big Hollywood studio, MGM's Go for Broke, released in 1951, starring Van Johnson. About that movie, Johnson writes, this movie was really more about Van Johnson's journey from bigotry to brotherhood, with the Japanese American soldiers fighting the good fight while serving as his character's vehicle for personal enlightenment." Fast forward to the present. Johnson believes, and I quote again, "There is cause for cautious celebration with another Go for Broke. It's more likely to focus on Japanese Americans, who, of course, should be the focus." Part of Johnson's optimism is executive producer Stacey Hayashi, who also wrote the screenplay, and who many of you know and familiar with. Stacey Hayashi has dedicated the past 16 years of her 41 years Sorry, Stacey. I could have said 16 years of 17 years of that. Oh, Stacey. Nobody can say no to Stacey. Anyway, she has spent 16 years pushing to make a movie about the 100th Battalion and the 442nd Regimental Combat Team. MIS? Yes, thank you. The catalyst that sparked her passion and commitment to this project began in high school, when Stacey wrote a paper about how the 100th and the 442 veterans raised the social status of Japanese Americans in Hawaii. She made friends with many of the veterans, and sadly, seeing many of them pass over the years. Stacey put her internet-based business on hold, devoting top priority to completing the movie before all of these veterans passed. Two major challenges faced Stacey and her team. The first was the size of the story. You could not possibly tell the entire story of the Go for Broke, the Buddha heads versus the Katonks, the military intelligence services, and so on in one production. Just not possible. Stacey narrowed the focus to setting the story in Hawaii shortly after the attack on Pearl Harbor. From here we learn of the origins of the 100th Battalion in Hawaii, who would later become part of the 442nd Regimental Combat Team, and the people who helped make that happen. According to Stacey, this is an origin story because people don't know how the 100th Battalion and the 442nd happened. Supporters behind the scenes who are not Japanese Americans, they help the community, sometimes at their own peril. The second major challenge was, and still is, money. We hope that many of you here today, after seeing this production, will commit and make pledges to help pay all our bills now and in the future. Stacey says getting into schools. Stacey has come this far, and you have to salute that. Please help Stacey so she won't actually be going broke. So that brings us here today. And at this time, I would like to call up to the stage for brief comments ladies and gentlemen, the director of Go For Broke, Alex Bocchieri.
Stacey asked me a couple days ago, she's like, did you want to say anything? And I said, sure. She's like, it's a packed program, you've got 2 minutes. And I said, I only need like 45 seconds. I just gotta say thank you to a couple people, like my family who's up here. I can't thank you enough for supporting me over the last 5 years that I've been on this journey with Stacey. You know, it's been crazy how you just kind of sit on a project for a long time and then it all just kind of comes together at once. And that's definitely the case for this movie, and where, you know, it all just came together so quickly in the last year. And we were so excited to share it with all of you that we couldn't wait. And I actually mean that literally. The movie's not done yet. We're showing you a movie that's still a work in progress. There's no sound mix, and some of the special effects are just gonna be what's called pre-visualizations. But the whole movie's there, and all of the passion and support that you've given us through the years shows on screen. It is totally a Hollywood level production, and I honestly cannot thank you enough. And of course, I have to say thank you to Stacey for trusting me with helping tell her story. She's taught me so much about this culture, about this story, and her introducing me to the veterans and their stories has been just the most amazing thing. And I'm just so excited to finally share this movie with all of you. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the person who needs no introduction, Stacey Hayashi.
Aloha. Aloha. Admiral Harris, Senator Akaka, Governor Ige, and Mayor Caldwell are not here yet. Sir Masa Nakamura, Sir Riki Tsuda, Sir Bob Kishinami, Sir Jack Nakamura, and Sir Harold Ofuso, and any other French knights here who have received the Legion of Honor who have escaped me because there are so many people here. VVV vet, Akira Otani. Where are you, Akira? Where's Akira Otani? Oh my God, it's so bright, I can't see. Oh, there he is, okay. So, Akira Otani, everyone. I'm really bummed that Ted Tsukiyama is sick today. He has a cold, but his family is here. And the families of and Bishop Fujitani, he also is not well today, and so we wish him a speedy recovery. Families of the VVV veterans were here. Ellen Shikuma, she was the widow of Henry Shikuma, Eric and Naomi Takai, Sammy, Matthew, and Kyla Takai, Ross and Nikki Takai, Kenny and Jessica and young Maggie Inoue, Doug Goto and Gracie Fujii of the 442nd Regimental Combat Team Foundation, General Bramlett, General Lee, General Logan, the amazing cast and crew of Go for Broke, and dear, dear friends. Thank you for being here. If you're here, it means you're a part of this very long journey, or a friend of someone who was. And yes, 16 years, thank you, Howard. Almost 17 in a few months, and what a journey it has been. We're here today to honor our veterans, but not only them, the unsung heroes behind the scenes, whose stories will now be shared with the world. I'd like to especially thank two dear friends who are not with us today, but who, without them, this movie would not exist. Eddie Yamasaki, 442I Company veteran, passed away earlier this year in April, and Mark Takai, our beloved late congressman, gone too soon. It was Eddie who was there by my side from the beginning. You know, he put me to work pretty much immediately after we met. If you knew Eddie, he was very bossy. He put me to work helping him turn the iCompany book, and then there were 8 into an ebook. And it was he who I dragged everywhere to talk about the 442 comic book, Journey of Heroes. I took him to book signings and morning shows on the news and Comic-Con panels and author nights. And I dragged him around the Capitol to lobby our legislators for the funds for the movie you're about to see. Twice. I have to add that I didn't actually drag him. You know, he always went willingly. He was very sociable, extremely disarming, and I know those of you fortunate to have known him will agree that he was the perfect and possibly only vet for that job. Charming, yet blunt, and not afraid to say that yes, this story is important, because it is. It's important that the world know the stories of the people of Hawaii during Pearl Harbor and afterwards, in those dark days. People should know how people from Hawaii behaved with aloha, something we seem to have maybe forgotten all these years later. As for Mark, he always did everything he could to honor our vets. In many cases, that meant inviting me someplace because